Timothy Bliefnick shocked the audience when he joked about the worst mistake he's ever made, which was on his wedding night, and that was saying, "I do." 3 years later, he's been convicted of the murder of his wife and the mother of his 3 children.
What's the biggest mistake you made at your wedding?
Honey, I love you, but said I do.
Timothy Bliefnick made headlines in his hometown of Quincy, Illinois, when he appeared in a 2020 episode of Family Feud. Cheerful, well-dressed, and with a party watching and support from home, Bliefnick answered one of the game show's prompt questions by joking that the worst mistake on his wedding night was saying, "I do." His answer drew an audible gasp from the audience, with host Steve Harvey quipping that Bliefnick was going to face a lot of hell to pay when he got home. Bliefnick rushed to clarify that it was not his answer to say, and that he loved his wife, Rebecca, or Becky Bliefnick. "I'm going to get in trouble for that, aren't I?" Bliefnick told Mr. Harvey with a teasing smile. A year after the episode aired, Bliefnick's filed for divorce. Bliefnick's next turn in the headlines would come under vastly different circumstances. In March of this year, he was charged with breaking into his estranged wife's home and shooting her 14 times. On 31st of May, Bliefnick was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of home invasion. Prosecutors said the killing marked the end of a long string of domestic violence and threats by Bliefnick against Becky. As he awaits sentencing on August 11th, here's everything we know about the case. The crime. Loved ones first became concerned when 41-year-old Becky, a doting mother and travel nurse, failed to pick up her 3 sons from school on 23rd of February. Before discovering the gruesome scene, Becky's father, William, received a text from Bliefnick, 39, asking him to check if she planned to pick up the children. The father told jurors at the Adam County Courthouse on May 23rd that he drove to his daughter's home and found the front door open, which he described as unusual. After finding Becky's body in the bathroom, he rushed to a neighbor's house to call 911 as he had forgotten his phone. Adams County Assistant State's Attorney Josh Jones said that shell casings found in Bliefnick's basement matched the casings that were near his wife's body. Crime scene investigators reportedly found Becky's DNA in an Aldi bag found at her husband's home. Prosecutors also claimed that DNA links Bliefnick to the crime scene. Another Aldi bag found at the scene was reportedly used as a homemade gun silencer by the killer. Mr. Jones said during opening arguments that Becky spent her last moments terrified, bleeding, and alone. For the first week following Becky's killing, Bliefnick was not charged or arrested in connection with her death, but on March 1st, the Quincy Police Department served a search warrant at his house. Bliefnick denied any involvement but said through an attorney that he was surprised authorities didn't show up at his door sooner. Given the circumstances, it's not surprising that the search warrant was issued and executed. The attorney told local news outlet Muddy River News at the time, "My only surprise is that it took this long to do. It's just as important that QDP conduct such investigation to rule Tim out as a suspect so that investigative efforts can be spent somewhere else." Bliefnick was ultimately arrested on March 13th and pleaded not guilty. Throughout the trial, prosecutors presented evidence they say proves Bliefnick was the perpetrator in his wife's murder, including chilling searches for how to wash off gunpowder, average police response time, and how to open a door with a crowbar in his online search history. On March 31st, a jury convicted Bliefnick on all counts related to Becky's murder, after the defense declined to present any evidence. Jurors deliberated for just 4 hours before returning the guilty verdict. Now, Bliefnick is facing between 45 years to life in prison at his sentencing in August. Allegations of domestic violence. The couple filed for divorce early 2021. Court filing shows following 13 years of marriage, Becky had filed a restraining order against Bliefnick and his father before the alleged murderer decided to also file one against his estranged wife. Mr. Jones said during opening arguments that Bliefnick had reportedly told his slain wife that she would not get his money, according to the couple's divorce attorney. Bliefnick was expected to pay $1,100 in maintenance and $472 per month in child support. Another attorney who took over the divorce case said the process was very contested. The couple was reportedly also fighting over custody arrangements. Bliefnick reportedly wanted his wife to have a psychiatric evaluation, and Becky said it was his wish the children didn't have any type of contact with her husband's father. Becky's boyfriend, Ted Johnson, also took the stand on May 23rd, testifying for the prosecution. Mr. Johnson said that Becky was looking forward to have her difficult divorce finalized. Sarah, Becky's sister, told jurors that she had first wanted to remain married to Bliefnick to keep their family together, but in the months leading up to her death had become afraid for her life. If something ever happens to me, make sure the number one person of interest is Tim. I'm putting this in writing, that I'm fearful he will somehow harm me. Becky reportedly texted her sister in 2021. A text Becky sent to a friend in May 2021 read, "He has screamed in my face, he shoved me in front of the kids, and has thrown things across the room where the kids and I were standing." Another friend of Becky testified on May 23rd that she had been told by Bliefnick that she'll be dead before having any of his money. At the time of Becky's murder, there was a court order for Bliefnick to return a gun to her. He had reportedly told police he didn't want to do it himself, but law enforcement said they couldn't get involved as it was a court ruling. Becky was described as a compassionate and generous mother who had found her true calling in nursing. During COVID-19 pandemic, she was a travel nurse at the Northeast Regional Medical Center and Hannibal Regional Hospital in Missouri. Family members and loved ones have also shared memories of the mother of three on social media. Following Mr. Bliefnick's arrest in March, a friend of Becky's wrote on a Facebook post that the slain mother had been consumed by fear in the weeks leading up to her death. "We've watched, waited, and prayed for justice," the post read. "We have to listen to women when they fear for their or their children's safety. This could have been prevented. It breaks my heart to know that these boys will grow up without their mama. We have to do better." A GoFundMe to support Becky's children has raised more than $100,000. Despite the circumstances of her death, she's remembered for the life she cherished, a life of compassion, generosity, faith, and fierce love for her family. The description of the fundraiser read,